Welcome to the sixth video in the Metric Math Water and Wastewater series. This video is going to focus on how to find the area of circles. Whenever you do some calculations with circles to find the area of them or the perimeter, doesn't really matter, whenever you're measuring a distance, the distance is always in the unit of meters. Now, the measurement of meters, the best unit for measurement of distance is in meters. Now, some options for that measurement could be in either centimeters or millimeters. For example, if you have a 200 millimeter diameter pipe, whenever you're doing the calculations, it's always best to convert to meters as early as possible. So, for example, a 200 millimeter diameter pipe, when you're doing these calculations of area, would be 0.2 meters. Again, whenever you're measuring diameters, try and convert to meters as quickly as possible. It just makes the math later on so much easier. So if the unit of distance is meters, the unit for area in the metric system is most commonly in meters squared. And as we looked at in an earlier video, the unit for volume is meters cubed. Now, when we look at the formula to calculate for an area of a circle, there's two options. The first option, which I highly recommend, is area of a circle in meters squared is equal to 0.785 times diameter times diameter. Now, I taught high school for 30 years, and the only formula that I was aware of at that time period was a second option, a little bit more traditional one, which is pi times radius times radius. Now, I have changed my opinion as to which is the best formula to use, and I've gone back to that formula there. Why? Because you don't have to do a math step by dividing diameter in half to get to radius. So that saves two steps. Also, some people ask, well, where did that some people will ask, where did that 0.785 come from? If you take the diameter and divide it in half, you get radius. And if you do that again, that's two diameters cut in half to get two radiuses, that's a quarter. Well, if you take pi and divide it by 4, you get to 0.785. So that's where that number comes from. In final statement here, if you're more comfortable with pi times radius, fine, that's okay. The best formula is the one that you are comfortable with and gets the right answer. But remember, always convert your millimeters or centimeters to meter as early in the math solution as possible. It's a lot easier to work at that point. Now, let's take a look at an example. A reservoir measures 15 meters high by 23.2 meters in diameter, and the question is find the area of the floor in meters squared. So, first step. Identify the key words. What's in there that's important? Well, you're asked to find the area in meters squared. So that's the first thing. Find the area. Another key word is in diameter. Well, as soon as you see the word diameter, that implies, or you should pick up on the fact that you're dealing with a circle. And if you're dealing with a circle, the formula for a circle is 0.785 times diameter. Another thing that's important is, well, what is the diameter? 23.2 meters. Now you may ask, well, what's that 15 meter high in the formula for? Well, it's there as a distractor. The person that wrote the question has purposely put that in there to really check to see if you know what you're doing. Now, what do you do with the distractor? Get rid of it. You ignore it. Don't even include it. Don't even think about it. Just completely ignore it. Now, when you start working with the question, you've identified the key words. Now identify the formula that you're going to need. 0.785 times diameter times diameter. I would strongly encourage you to write out exactly how you're going to put the numbers into your calculator. Rather than doing 0.785 times diameter with a 2 in there as a squared, put it in diameter times diameter. Too many people, when they get stressed, they do 0.785 times diameter, and then instead of squaring, they multiply it by 2, and that becomes just a simple mistake brought on by the stress of the situation. So 0.785 times 23.2 times 23.2 gives you an area of 422.52. And then the last thing you have to check is the unit, meters squared. Is that the correct unit? Meters squared is the correct area. Meters squared is the correct unit for area. So now that's a pretty good indication that you've done it correct. So, summary. Read the question carefully. Underline the key points. What's the unit in the answer? If you're doing a multiple choice question, what is the unit behind the options for A, B, C, and D? Sometimes you can get rid of some potential answers because they're not in the right unit. Watch out for distractors. All those points, just check them out right at the end, and that's a way to verify that you have done what you need to do. After the formula has been set up and you do your solving after you've done the setup using BEDMAS, brackets, exponent, divide, multiply, add, subtract, and then you do your manipulating around to get the known values on one side and the unknowns on the other side. Now you can check for the final unit. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching this math video. Please check out the other videos in this series. Put in some comments, and please pass this site on to any of the other water or wastewater students that are struggling with their math. Goodbye for now, and have a good day.